Hey guys, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains, North Carolina. Today, I'll be showing off this. This is a VanTop, well, the model number is Discovery H612T. It's a mirror-mounted dash camera, and this is an interesting purchase. And you would say, well, why do you need a dash cam living in the middle of nowhere? Let me show you. So you can see the problem here. This is the auto-dimming feature, and of course the liquid that electrically, dielectric I think it is, liquid that's inside of here fails, and you end up with it stuck half in night mode and half in day mode. Very expensive fix. So we're going to use that camera mirror to fix that and to add functionality to the car. So it's kind of a win-win. Yeah, so the Volvo, and if you own a 01 to 08 model Volvo, I know a lot of BMWs also have the same problem, where the mirror goes bad like that. You know that that's like $550 plus downloads and software installations. So this was about a third of the price, and it offers some features and functionality that the just repairing what was there would not. So what we have is a bigger mirror, which is going to be going over that, but it also has a color screen that's in there, and it has the ability to record. So it's going to record if you get into an accident. And I'm putting this on my winter car, which is granted kind of a beater, but I certainly don't want my insurance to go up if I were to have an accident or someone were to crash into me. This helps you in the case of an accident. If you're at fault, well, you're at fault. If you're not, this will help to prove without a doubt that you weren't, because it records the action going on in front of you. So I'm going to go ahead and open this thing up and let's check it out. Seems pretty cool. Had some fairly good reviews online, and I'm hopeful that this takes care of it. We actually installed one of these for a customer a while back, and they're very pleased with it, so I'm hoping I will be as well. Let's see here. Pretty fancy packaging. Yeah, very fancy packaging. And of course it's kind of a delicate thing because it is a mirror. It does have electronics in there. Wow. All right. So let's take a look here at the mirror itself. And this part just clamps on to your existing mirror. Here's our camera right here, which is really cool. So that's just going to clamp on there and attaches to that. Looks like up on top here, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Looks like, and yeah, we got some plugs here. We've got a power. Looks like a regular USB power plug. Maybe out, looks like maybe. GPS, interesting. So you could lock that into GPS. It would tell you the exact location of the accident. And then a place for a memory card as well. Nice, I'll just lay that aside. And it looks like we got a lot of packaging here. Alright, so there's our GPS antenna, so that's cool. So it does come with that. So it is going to track where we're at. That's really nice. And then we've got a power cord here. Cool. And this is, I believe, because this thing has the add-on for it, a rear camera. And that's exactly what it is. So this has a front and a rear camera. Really important. So if I get rear-ended, I mean, it's really going to be viewing everything 360. So, and I'm not sure what that is, but we'll go through it. Pretty good size manual. And 21 pages of English instructions. So I'm going to go through this here, and then we'll get ready and we'll get this thing started. Alright, so I've had a chance to read through things, and the only thing that you're going to need that's not included in this kit is a little miniature USB stick. SD card, I think it's called a micro SD. And that goes up in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert that in there. If I can. There it goes. That's it. So it does come with a couple different size straps. Let me grab those. Now these rubber straps here are going to help us as far as strapping the camera or the new mirror onto our existing mirror. So now I'll take care of doing that. Alright, you can see it's a little hard to see, but installation is just using those rubber pieces here to strap around. It is a little offset, it's a little farther out on this side because the camera lens is right here. So you might see just the edge of it sticking out, but there's some flexibility in the mounts to allow you to mount it. And honestly, once it's in, it looks factory. So let's continue. Okay, keeping in mind that every car is going to be different, I have a hatchback or a wagon. I opted to put it near the license plate here. I ran the wire right up through one of the license plate lights. Go ahead and open this up. And I removed the inside panel here and snaked that wire out through there. Now I'm going to run this cabling, this red wire here, hold on, and ran it down through the existing harness and into the car. It's time to move forward. All right. Well, here it is all installed. Really hard to see, but yeah, let me get a little closer. That's it. That's the reverse camera. And so let me open this back up here. We'll take a look at it again. Really clean install. Like I said, I snaked the wire up past the reverse lens here. And on the inside, I removed this panel, ran the wiring down along here, ran one wire down there to the reverse light so that the reverse camera would come on when I was in reverse. But ran it through there. Oops, sorry, ran it through there. Inside, and you can see this little wire. Need to maybe tape that, but then it runs along that, down the pillar, underneath the carpeting, and up. And let's go up to the front there, and you'll see a pretty darn clean install all the way around here. All right, when you fire up the car, this is what you're going to see. I've got the reverse camera activated right now. If I put the car in reverse, we're going to have our backup guidance there, and it looks like the camera needs to be adjusted slightly downward. I'll do that here when I'm done filming. But as you can see, it's a really wide screen view, which I really like. Go ahead and put it back into park. And there's a bunch of functions here, not all of which you'll be able to see clearly, but we have our date and time. Miles per hour is listed over here, and it kind of goes to a smaller thing. Touching the screen brings up, we can turn on and off audio recording, we can take a snapshot. We have our settings here, and let me go into settings. We have a lot of settings. Resolution, I've got it set at 2K. I have the SD card I put in here is not big enough, so there's a problem. I have loop recording on, so it's just going to record stuff. You can turn on and off time lapse, record audio. I've decided to do that. G sensor, so in the event of a crash, you can say, well, he was sliding sideways. And all this is going to help in a court of law if you have an accident and you're trying to determine who's at fault. Parking guard is actually a proximity sensor. It's just going to kind of give you that view to see where you're at. Screensaver, you can even input your license plate over here so that there's no doubt that the video came from your car. You can change it from H264 to H265. Frequency, US is 60, I think PAL is 50. USB mode would be if you want to transfer it. You can unplug the power and transfer this information without removing the SD card. Voice, speaker, boot up sounds. You can watch your videos. We have the language, adjust your time and date. And then down here we have format. We can put everything back to default if we screw stuff up. I've got speech recognition on here. We have version, GPS. GPS is going to tell us how fast we were going, where we were located. It's kind of nice. And then miles per hour, so it's actually going to show how fast you were going in the event of an accident. Yeah, it's going to give me that warning about the SD card. Might do that 2 or 3 times. All right, so the last thing I want to show you is this has some features and functions here. So they are voice controlled, so let's go through those real quick. Turn off screen.
Okay.
Right, and that gives us our regular rear view mirror look, which is really interesting to me. That, I mean, that's such a nice view. I'd almost kind of leave it on while driving, but if you want to turn it off, or if it's at nighttime, you just want to use the regular rear view, you can go right ahead and do that. Turn on screen.
Okay.
There we go. Can't remember. Show front camera.
Okay.
And there it is, the front camera here where my hand is. So that's showing what would happen. And you can say, show both cameras.
Okay.
And now I'm showing the front and the rear. Go ahead and get rid of that. Show rear camera.
Okay.
So pretty interesting stuff here. Obviously, a little playing around and you can learn this. The user's manual is pretty complete, but if you have any questions, I found I actually contacted the website because I wasn't sure what all the voice commands were, and they were kind enough to walk me through it on the through emails, so that was really nice. Anyway, that's gonna do it. I am pleased. I mean, it wasn't inexpensive, but compared to replacing the mirror on this Volvo and then having to do the download and going through that whole fiasco, would have been $550 to $600. This was half of that at the high end, and I think that's a pretty fair price, and the peace of mind now that if I'm driving this car, and again, this is kind of my winter beater, but still, if I have an accident, there'll be no question as to who was at fault. And also those added features like the backup camera that you're seeing right now, that's nice. A wide angle, no A-pillars in the way, really nice. So overall, I give it an A. I'll see you next time. Take care.
There's always something that needs a little fixing on